Welcome back to another episode of Confessions of a Multi-Hyphenate. I'm your host, Crystal Henry. This is your bite-sized weekly podcast dedicated to those of us who are multi-passionate people and we're learning how to navigate it all. This is episode 5, Navigating Accountability, okay? Before we get into that, let's do a quick recap of episode 4, which was all about the way that we manage stress and navigating that. So our task, our move of the week was around writing that one sentence journal at the end of the night. And it was about what makes you feel at peace. You could even spin it and say what makes you feel happy or brings you joy. I hope that you did it. And I hope that you will continue to do it. Moving on to navigating accountability. All right. When we are living this and as we're living this multi hyphenate life, we are juggling all the things. And it's very easy to fall into that I got it mode. Okay. I could do it. I got it. But the truth is, who is checking on you? That's the truth. That's the real question. And who is holding you accountable to the goals that you have, to your growth, and to your greatness? All right. Who are you in the trenches with as you are making these multi hyphenate moves? We are not created to do life alone. And the same is true of this multi hyphenate life and the work that we have been called to do. Because the truth is, we're going to take it to church. This is a life that was not chosen by us, but it was chosen for us. So, how do we navigate this and move in a way that connects us with other people? Hence, accountability. So, in this episode, we're going to talk about the power of accountability and how having the right people in your corner makes all the difference. And whether it's a business group, a creative circle, or even your ride or die friends, community 1000% matters. I hear you now. I hear you now. Accountability, though, Crystal. The first thing that came to mind as I was planning out this episode was that clip from season 2 of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Miss Sheree Whitfield, y'all. I think you know where I'm going with this. Somebody's probably saying it. When she was arguing with the party planner across the conference room table and she slammed it and said, "Who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me?" And I mean, that thing has aged so well. I had to look up what year that was. That was 2009. Sheree Whitfield said, "Who gonna check me?" in 2009. And it's 2025, and that statement still holds true. But when we think about accountability, it isn't who's going to check me, it's who's going to support me, who's in the trenches with me, who am I working alongside of. That's what it's more about. Understanding that accountability is that obligation or even willingness to accept responsibility for your actions and to be answerable for the outcomes. That for me makes me cringe just a little bit if I think about the real technical definition because it makes me go back to Sheree. Who gonna check me? Why do I have to answer to somebody? But it's not about that. And it's about shifting your mind, reframing it, okay, as a multi hyphenate to think about how am I going to be in community with other people to get my goals accomplished, move forward my agenda. Accountability groups are one of those ways that that can happen. I talked about if it's a business group, a creative group, your ride or dies, whatever it is, we're talking about community, all right? And being a multi passionate means that often we're working independently, but that doesn't mean that we have to do everything alone. Working independently versus doing everything alone, they are different in many different ways. Accountability helps to keep us focused, encouraged, and even aligned. And it's not about pressure. Change your mind from thinking accountability means pressure. It actually means partnership. It doesn't mean that we have to be doing the same things, but it means that we are partnering towards our goals. So, I always get on with these 5 different ways that we can navigate accountability as multi hyphenates. The very first one is to find your accountability type. What type of type do you is going to work for you, depending on what the goal is. Does that look like a check in? Does it look like challenges? Does it look like collaboration? Or even a little bit of all 3 of those? But for me, these kind of challenges, if somebody says, "Oh, I challenge you to," uh, think about it with social media planning, or if you have a challenge to get all these captions written and get all this stuff done. Challenges don't work for me because that brings out more of my competitive nature, and I'm not competing with you, and I don't even want to think about competing with myself. I want to think about working at a manageable pace, but think about what type of accountability type works for you. I definitely like accountability groups that meet monthly, sometimes even weekly. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the various groups that I am a part of and how those really do work for me. Secondly, after you find your type, what type of type are you looking for or format? Join a community that really fits your vibe. It's got to be one that will help to spark that creativity, that's going to speak to what you value, that's going to speak to your goals, what type of energy you have. And it could even be some type of online group or it could be in person. But I am a member of right now 3 different, actually kind of 4 different groups, so to speak. And I've been a member of a few different more of them. One of them is through the Women Entrepreneurship Leadership Lab here in Baltimore. And we meet monthly. And we also get together another day of the month. We have Monday accountability calls at 9:30 via Zoom. That's one of my main groups. Another one, we call ourselves the Millie Squad, because the Millionaire Squad, right? Taken from the book We Should All Be Millionaires. But we were meeting monthly. Another one that I'm a part of is called the Glow Up Group. We meet monthly as well towards the end of the month via Zoom. I've been a part of devotional groups. I've been a part of prayer groups. I've been a part of exercise groups. And one person in particular helped me a little while ago to change my focus on accountability groups and opened up my mind to how accountability groups really do help you to thrive and not to fall into that Sheree Whitfield type of pattern. And that's one of my friends, Shalyce Tyson. And I asked her what she really thought about accountability groups. And she's always been a cheerleader for them and has even written a blog about it. And I'll tag that in the show notes. But she says when she gets together with her accountability group, she said, I get the fuel, the ideas, and the motivation to keep going personally and professionally. We laugh, we hype each other up, we share tips, we're transparent, we congratulate one another, and we hold each other accountable to achieving the goals that we share within the group. It's support in action, and we all need and desire support. Ding. Okay. So, the biggest benefit for me, for Shalyce, is knowing that I have people in my corner who I can reach out to. There's community. And then being able to be a source of support and accountability for them too. That's community as well. And when she talked more about it, it really opened my mind up and to see how people approach accountability. Now, with some groups that I was a part of in the past that I said, yeah, this isn't really my vibe, but it's others that have really opened my mind up and I now show up in a different way. The third point about accountability groups and a strategy is to be honest about what you need. There is and should be some kind of call to action that you're asking people for. And depending on the group, that may look differently. I think about some prayer or devotional groups that I've been a part of. Well, yeah, I'm gonna drop a prayer request on you and say I need you to pray for this or pray for that. And then when I am in my in my glow up group, I may say, all right, y'all, we talk about what we got accomplished for the month. We talk about what a new goal is for the upcoming month. And what do you need? I might need you to share something online. I might need you to view it. I might need you to read something and give me feedback. I might need you to connect me with somebody else. But be honest about what you need, not I want your support, because support can come from me saying, girl, I support you. And that's as far as it goes. But to say what you need. Fourth, give what you want to receive. Accountability is a two-way street. It's not just about me taking from you. It is about me giving you what it is that I'm looking to receive. And that is real action, real results. Okay. And putting that out there, because the more that I show up for other people, the more likely they are to show up with me, because we're in community where we're being vulnerable, where we're talking about our goals, where we are talking about our successes, our challenges, and that helps us to grow stronger with each other. And the last one, when you're thinking about accountability groups, not who's going to check you, but is to make it fun. Don't make it forceful. Again, I don't approach any of these groups, even the ones that I meet with monthly, as though I'm completing homework, okay? Because I'm moving the needle forward in my multi hyphenate life with the stationery, with the podcast, with the speaking, with the this, with the that. It's up to me. And so when I'm coming to these groups and when we're meeting, yes, I want it to be fun, right? And I want this to be something that I enjoy doing. And that's why I keep coming back. There we have it. We can navigate accountability not in a way like who's going to check us, who's going to get after us, or even that we're going to get in trouble, but we can approach accountability and accountability groups that enrich us and that propel us forward. And if you don't know where to begin, you can talk with someone in your multi hyphenate circle. You can connect with people in various professional groups. These groups are out there. And maybe you want to start your own accountability group. Give it a name. Invite two or three people to be able to meet at a frequency that you all agree upon. But again, we are not called to do this alone, right? We might be working independently, but we do not have to live this multi hyphenate life alone. Our quote of the week comes from Michael B. Jordan, the actor. And I had to really think about this quote, but it says, you can only fool reality until the truth comes knocking at your door. Again, with accountability, you can think that you can do this alone, but you cannot, all right? That we're not meant to do this alone. That is the reality of it. And the truth is that community is out there. So we can be in community with people and have other people to support us before we start slipping. Your multi hyphenate move of the week is to make a list of 3 different people or even groups that you can reach out to for accountability this week, no matter when you listen to this. And out of these 3 people, pick one and go with one of them. Ask them for a check in, ask them for some time to talk about something. If you are already a part of a group, great. That helps to check that list off a little bit for you. But think about how you can do that and implement that move of the week. And don't wait to be invited, but really take that step in there and make that happen for yourself. So, to close us out, you are able to be in community with people and to live a life of one that is filled with intention and one that helps you to move that multi hyphenate ball forward and forward and forward to accomplish those goals. So be accountable. It's not about who's going to check you, okay? But before you go, definitely subscribe to the podcast. Make sure that you leave a review, leave some stars, share it with someone else. And remember that it's not about perfection, but it is about progress. And you might need a redo with some things. You might have a hiccup along the way. Me too. But we are going to continue to navigate this life as multi hyphenates. And I'll see you next week. Bye.